time to talk some Florida football here on Mark Rogers TV. So to do so, we bring in David Waters from Gators Breakdown to help us out. David, how you doing tonight?
Pretty good, Mark. How about yourself?
I'm doing just fine. So I caught the spring game and attempted some analysis, but we bring in the pro to really break it down. I would guess that the big storyline has to be Feleipe Franks and what he showed us, and at times didn't show us. He was pretty sporadic. So the first thing that jumped out to me, Dave, was that he hit a beautiful throw on the second or third play of the game, of the scrimmage, and then he came back with the ball inside the 10 on the next play, and he missed a wide open receiver. And that's pretty much how it went from there. But I think he separated himself, and I think that's what the fans want. But I also think that's the reality at this point.
That is the reality. What we're going to see from Feleipe Franks is without him, playing much his freshman year, it's going to be an up and down process when you're going through spring practice. You mentioned third pass of the game, he hit Josh Hammond, Frankie Hammond's younger brother, who used to play for Florida. But he hit Josh Hammond 46 yards down the sideline. And as you mentioned, the very next play had Hammond wide open, but rifled the ball too much, threw it right over him, but could not contain his own big arm, I guess you could say. So that's what we're going to have to see from Feleipe Franks, is being able to put some touches on the ball. A couple of drives later, he was able to hit Antonio Callaway in the end zone with about the same type of throw. Coverage was kind of soft. You could even maybe say that, Callaway was going against a walk-on cornerback and a walk-on safety, more than likely, third-team guys. So it was kind of set up for some success, but at least he knew this time, okay, I'll take some off the ball. I'll make the throw in the end zone, and that's exactly what happened. So there were some good things, even on that first drive, converting a 3rd and 4 to Brandon Powell. So converting some third downs is very important for this Florida offense with the struggles that they've had. Scored on, even though they didn't hit the pass on that first drive I talked about to Hammond where he missed that one pass, they still ended up scoring a touchdown with Jordan Scarlett. And then I mentioned the Antonio Callaway touchdown as well. So they scored touchdowns on 2 out of the 3 drives that he took the offense down into the red zone. I think a field goal was the other one. So they scored on all 3 possessions, touchdowns on 2 of those. But converting some third downs, even one where the defense, rarely in spring games blitz, but brought some pressure from the defensive backfield. Feleipe Franks pushed himself up into the pocket and threw to Brandon Powell where the blitz came from and converted another third down there. So, he was able to identify a blitz, escape, move up into the pocket and get a pass off. So there were some good things that you could see, but, of course, the negative things were what we've talked about is he's got to learn to put some touches on some balls. Even later on, he had Jordan Scarlett coming out of the backfield wide open, didn't hit him. Probably too much mustard on the ball again. So if he can get to some consistency, it's going to take some time. He's still a young quarterback. But from the way it looks like he's done enough to separate himself from Kyle Trask and, is going to be the guy more than likely when Florida takes the field against Michigan in that first game of the season in Dallas.
So you're saying that he separated himself in the eyes of Jim McElwain, or is he separated in himself in the eyes of David Waters as well?
You can say both.
Okay.
Jim McElwain did say, without naming names before the spring game, saying there was separation. We knew that was Franks from everything, notes being sent our way, enough of the media being there, open portions of practice of what they were able to see. But after the spring game, the press conference there, Jim McElwain did come out and say and name Feleipe Franks, as a separator of the 2 guys there, where Feleipe Franks is ahead of Kyle Trask. So, we'll see what happens when Luke Del Rio comes back in the fall, if he's healthy enough to solidify himself into a competition with Feleipe Franks to get that starting role. But if it's me, if I'm putting the coach's hat on, I'm rolling with Feleipe Franks. I'm seeing what I have in him, grow this Gator offense with him, and let's see what happens.
David Waters, Gators Breakdown, joining us to talk Florida football following the spring game on a Friday night.